Modeland Event Center. My name is Modulamin Age Almu Safso, and I am the chair of this prestigious occasion. Before we get started, I would like to introduce members of the high table. From my far right, or immediate right rather, it's Miss Jamila Tujalo. She is the Administrative Secretary of Read-Gambia Foundation. And my immediate left, we have Mr. Dudu M.Y. Seka, who is the General Manager for GTS and Modeland, respectively. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and distinct privilege to welcome you to this very important undertaking, marking the press conference of the Read-Gambia Read-A-Thon 2025. I will mark this occasion by allowing our General Manager to welcome you on behalf of Modeland, the entire management and staff of Modeland, by delivering his welcoming remarks. And from there, we will go formally through the press conference itself. So you have the floor, Mr. Seka. You can take us through.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, all media houses present today, I welcome you to the Modeland Event Space Center. First of all, before I go further, I will tell you what services we offer here. We can offer all kind of service, from weddings, stage shows, artist performance, conference, workshops, exhibition for arts, and a lot of things that can happen in Modeland. So it's a event space center. Okay, I know some of you have been here before to cover some of the artists, let's say like their album launching, or their listening album party, or some of the Miss Beauty pageant that happened before. Alright, I welcome you all. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Seka, to observe the various media houses here present, except for those who have not maybe registered using the list here. Some of the handwritings are really, I have to drink Fanta or Coca-Cola maybe to recognize exactly where they're from. But I think this is Jungle Online TV, right? If that's the case. And we have The Voice newspaper, and VOD media, and TTM media, T-Trend media, if that's the case here, and TYFC TV, you're welcome. TAT is also here with us, with Bessel Media, Paradise TV, Sunyu TV, the Fatu Network, Paradise TV again, The Point newspaper, Atlantic TV, Hilltop FM, and this is SSTV. I don't recognize the rest. SS Media and TV, and then the last one, I don't know, I think it's Sunyu Rail, something Rail TV, you know. My bad. We acknowledge all of you here, and your presence is very important because we are undertaking a national event which is called the Read-Gambia Read-A-Thon. It's hard to pronounce, especially when the Jolas will say, but that's not the case here. Read-A-Thon. What is Read-A-Thon? It's a reading event or reading competition, because we have noticed that the Gambia, our country, have really earned the respect and admiration in the world for its peace and hospitality. More so our education too. We are doing extremely well through the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. We have very current education policies, and then excellent is really great. We are doing very, very well. But when it comes to reading and literacy, the country is lagging behind in that sector. So what can be done to complement efforts of the Gambia government through the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education? Currently, the Guinness record for longest reading marathon, the world record, is being held by Nigeria for the longest reading in the world, not just Africa, the whole world. The longest reading marathon, I repeat, the record is being held by Nigeria. About 3 to 5 Nigerian citizens competed, and then they got their names written in the Guinness Book of World Records for the reading marathon. The Gambia has never participated, not in a single activity, not in a single domain. As we speak, we are hoping that one day maybe Gina Bass will also get her name written for athletics. such as Usain Bolt, who is the world's fastest athlete, who ran about 9 seconds for 100 meters. That's why his name is written there. So for the Gambia, we have never taken part in such an event, and we thought it is important to come up with the Read Gambia Read-A-Thon competition, which is an exciting annual event where young individuals compete for a prestigious prize to represent the country in the Guinness World Records Reading Challenge. These are young people between the ages of 16 to 30, and we have reached out to 32 schools. This includes tertiary institutions, colleges and universities, senior secondary schools, even vocational and skill training centers, if one is to be adding that as well. Their participation is so important such that if we look at the overview of our literacy in the Gambia, our current literacy rate according to UNESCO stands exactly at 60%, with males dominating the sector, with 75% of the Gambian population male are actually literates, and we have only 50% who are females. So this means that our male ratio is higher than the female ratio of literates in our country, according to the UNESCO, indicating a very huge gap in our education sector. The trends in reading is impressive because we have about 53% of the population, the ratio, reading ratio, which is different from the literacy ratio, all right? So it's very, very good. And the Gambia government has so many programs and initiatives through MOPSI, implementing policies to enhance literacy and promote reading culture nationwide, which is very, very good. Now, what can be done to complement the efforts of the government? If you look at the number of girls enrollment in senior secondary school from 2021 to 2025, it stands at only 55% of girls were enrolled. This cannot be compared to the male ratio of about 65% of boys. So 55 is really too small compared to 65. Now, the number has escalated from 2021 to 2025 to 75% of boys were enrolled in senior secondary school. Now, our literacy impact on employment as well is very, very big, because this is why we are advocating for inclusion of women in all walks of life, so that we can bridge that gap. Another indication is our access to resources, which is very, very limited, to libraries. The UNESCO report also indicated that currently we have 194 people per library in Africa, if you are to classify the gap in libraries. Each 194 people will have access to just one library. So this shows that we have so many huge gap in that particular sector where we need more community libraries just to encourage literacy, literature, and education. Poverty also has a huge impact on education, as families prioritize basic and secondary education. The Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education have a free education system from primary down to, I think, senior secondary school. Even though this is not, when we say free, we are referring to the basic education policy here. That doesn't mean the education system is completely free. We have an impressive one, but there are challenges that we need to address as a nation. We are not a group of people who go to the social media to say what government did or what they didn't do. But what we can do is to look at the demography, look at the huge gaps in between, and see what role can be played to complement their efforts. And this is why the examination data from 2015 to 2022 reveals a significant challenges. These significant challenges in students' performance are very, very peculiar, particularly in English language proficiency. Despite the impressive results that we have every year from 2017 to date, schools perform extremely well. But when it comes to the overall statistic, they are performing below other countries such as Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Ghana, and Liberia. But when it comes to individual results, we have 9 A's, very good, 8 A's. Those results are very, very good. But overall statistic, that's where the problem lies. And that is where we are coming to address this particular challenge, as I have mentioned. Now, without any further ado, I will now hand over to Jamila, Miss Jamila Tujalo, to talk more about the Read-A-Thon competition, the participating schools, the invited guests, the level of preparation so far, even the challenges, before we hand over to the press and media for a Q&A. In the meantime, Jamila, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you. Welcome once again for honoring our invitation. I'm Miss Jamila Diallo,